Alright. I just feel like streaming a little bit of gameplay today. Yeah. People were talking about it, so.
Madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Hi, Bullet. What kind of group should I pick? Gestal. Okay, not sure exactly what that implies other than Jester and Vestal. Now what? Highwayman in 3. Alright, and then who's leading? Bounty Hunter. Alright. Nah, we'll do Bounty Hunter. Let's see. Dude, come hither. Flashbang. More protection. Yeah, that's fine. Me, I am lead. Nope, you're not lead. Also, some slight additions to. I mean, this is the latest build that we're currently working on, so there's some slight additions to like the character sheet here. I don't know if you recognize, but we have some nice little detail around this, which I think looks very nice now. As well as some reconfiguring of the left side slightly. But alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. No slice off. And we'll get a nice ranged build going. Alright, you. Do double tap. Grape shot and a wicked slice. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just keep lunge. You said, alright, you said finale, stress heal, fade to black, of course, BB / solo. Solo needs to be looked at again, so we'll do BB instead. And then razor wit, yeah. Missing a skill here. Let's do knockback. And then let's see, we'll do rank 4, I assume she's gonna sit in, so judgment. Do conk light. This probably won't be necessary. Heal, of course. Divine. And I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'll do illumination and try to use it to keep my light up.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
I really love the Darkest Dungeon 2 music.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
It's quick.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead. An ambush.
What the hell was
Send
that?
these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
I was on stream.
Oh. Hi, Woonet. You scared the shit out of me.
Good.
What the fuck?
How are you doing?
Hi. Yeah, you really scared the hell out of me. I had no idea what was going on.
Good.
Just
I saw you were sitting in
6.
PC, and then I saw the notification that you were streaming, and I'm like, oh, that's a dangerous competition. Oh, that's dangerous, buddy.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. You never know who's gonna jump in here, apparently. He's ranked.
Glad it's not me. Glad it was me, not someone else.
Yeah, I guess.
Confidence
Hi,
surges as the enemy
Bullet.
crumbles.
Not doing it.
Finale just did 6 damage. That is not intentional. 100% damage. 3 of 6. I need to look at that again.
Modder actually being able to play the game.
What?
Modman actually being able to play the game.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I wanted to play my actual vanilla save and mess around with like my own crown changes and stuff, but turns out it crashes every time I open it again.
Lovely.
That's terrible. Let's see, he's got a strength. Some other small changes. We changed the buff icons, the buff and debuff, back to their DD2 colors, except for that one apparently.
When did you get the round camera up there?
It's impossible. We tried. There's absolutely no way that's ever gonna happen.
It's up there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like how in DD2 they have like they show who's up next. That
Yeah,
is
no,
what I
I
thought
know
you meant.
that's impossible. When did you get the? Oh wait, no, I forgot. DD2 actually has a DD1 actually has a normal.
Yeah, it has a round counter in the center.
You just made it.
Why is she missing a? Why is she missing a skill?
Lol.
I gotta open my notes.
No skill for you.
Let's see. It's right. Let's see. That's conviction 1, conv 1, Vestal missing. Which skill? Which skill is this that's missing?
Someone said divine grace.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if that was actually it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's right there. What are you talking about? Oh no, it's the it's the other heal.
Yeah. Wait, no.
Wait, hold on. I'm really confused
Wait,
now.
no,
They're
that is
both called
Divine
Divine
Grace.
Grace.
Oh.
Hold up.
Oh. Oh.
Names on heals on Vestal are duped. I'm really confused now. Okay, so. Alright.
You only used divine grace that much that you forgot the name of the other one?
Seriously.
I forgot what the other one was. I'm
What's
sure that
this?
doesn't help.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Got a good couple of bleeds there.
I'm gonna pop out. I just came in here to spin here to get scare the shit out of me.
Okay, well, it's mission accomplished, I suppose.
Good, have fun streaming.
I'm glad I was recording this.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing
New tracking shot animation. And if you guys just saw, we now have token pop-ups. Done by yours truly. I'm not sure which voice line was it. He's got a crit, but of course I can't actually hit anybody. That's interesting. Oh, it's because yeah. So in this test build, we don't have a tutorial, and so the game thinks the first couple of combats, and it always plays the same voice lines as if you were in the tutorial. Yeah. Looks like Dismas didn't just take his crit token after using it. Yeah, he's still got 100%. Hoeman didn't burn his crit token. Fucking move him. Yeah, I mean, it's removed right now for a bunch of reasons. One, because we're in a test build, you just get straight into the game instead of wasting your time in the tutorial. Two, the old road is really weird, and it's super buggy, and so some of the workarounds just straight up break in that situation. So we took it out before we started the open beta, so that way you guys weren't really fucking confused and thought this was and thought everything was like absolute garbage. Yeah, it's really messed up. 100% damage on 3 to 6 weapon damage. Like finale just their finale damage seems low. Yeah, it totally borks everything up. Alright. Now we can actually do something here. So speed and a dodge, protection. Or we dropped 1, 2, 3 prot tokens on a grape shot blast. Probably that. We will go ahead and probably gonna finale one of these guys, so we'll hit that. Try to get a flashbang on Madman. Nope. Why do you think that's odd, Empty? That's exactly where it's placed in DD2. Empty Mimic said that's an odd place for a vulnerable token to be, and it was up below the health bar. So this will do 5 to 10, or I can pull him forward in combo. Nah, 5 to 10. Of course he was stunned, so I can't actually do what I wanted to do, but I can double tap him. Oh, good old Healbot Vestal. Alright, so now we're gonna pull this guy. Damn it! Let's see. 1 prot token. He's on 2. If I... Let's see, that's 3 to 5. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, great. Finale can only be used in 1 and 2. I didn't pay attention to that and totally wasted it. I really need to just deal with Bone Courtier. Being stupid. Oh, okay! That works. Thanks, Vestal. How did he just miss that? How did he just miss that riposte? Well, that's interesting. That's why. His riposte isn't set to 100%. Boom. Easy, found it, fixed. No, it wasn't a dodge token, because I know none of these guys could give out a dodge token like that. Yeah, I just never changed his riposte accuracy, apparently. So, easy fix. But that's why we test. So, I'm not going to use this because it makes sense. I'm going to use this just to show you guys that fancy animation I made. But, so, we've added tokens, as you can see. So now I know that Highwayman has a dodge token, which is super spectacular. So we got a critical, dodge, and a true strike. But so this shows critical, that's the dodge, and I don't know why the true strike didn't show up. For art, do you use a straight line art or like a ruler with art tablet? Deadass question, because I want to learn art. Well, I'm not going to consider myself an artist by any stretch of the imagination, because most of what I know has been learned in this Discord with you guys. But I bought a $50 art tablet that plugs into my computer. But I don't know what you mean by ruler. Do you use straight line art or a ruler with an art tablet? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of the question. No, I don't use a ruler at all. Oh, I see what you mean. No, because you can do that here. I'll show you. Yeah, hold in V, I believe is the button. If you hold in V while you're drawing, it will do straight lines. So this is just with my mouse, right? If I pull it like that, it's all wavy, but if I hold in V, it gives me these straight lines. See what I mean? Then I'll let go, and then you got that. But if I switch to eraser and do a straight line, boom. Yes, that's Krita, yeah. Look at the side. It's just the quick to straight line. Yeah. I know. I'm just saying, you can hold in V. You said straight lines are your weakness. Here you go. But on top of that, you can increase your if you have your brush selected and you go to tool options, you can change your brush smoothing to stabilizer, and it'll make you make straighter lines. Yeah. I mean, you can do it, but like I wouldn't recommend it to do straight lines. I find like you can do the stabilizer, which helps. But if I'm doing like a lot of like little detail stuff, a straight line or the stabilizer makes your brush kind of drag behind my mouse, like you see that, and it really screws up my like fine detail stuff. So I usually stick with weighted. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely not recommend using a ruler for digital art. Just use the straight line tool. I use it like constantly to get like nice crisp lines. Usually I'll make something and then I'll use the eraser with the straight line tool to kind of fix it up. Should do another art stream one of these days. Something's up the crit tokens. I don't know why it's not taking them, but I thought I had double tap selected. I mean, yes, probably. The question was, are you going to have as many enemy stuns as there are in DD2? And the answer is yeah, most likely. Enemy disruption on hero parties is lacking in general in this game, to a point where I feel like most of the time you just do whatever you want. But so to have enemies start doing things that disrupt your game plan more makes you have to think harder and or use different abilities, right? So like administration that cures stun is that much better, and stuff like that. It just gives your edge case utility abilities a lot more to use. But as far as the ported over enemies, they'll all be 1-to-1 with Darkest Dungeon 2. But for vanilla enemies, I'll probably keep the stunners. Let's see. We're going to... So there's an issue with the camera. You can see my dodge token is now below my health bar there. There's an issue with the camera in the hallways that I still haven't looked into to fix, but it basically moves it some fucking tokens are in the wrong spot. It's really annoying. So we will... Alright, now we're looking at 12 to 24 damage. That's way better. Just hit him in rank 3. Nice. So I think days as we have it in game right now is probably going to be removed. As you'll see here, he'll have that daze token on him the whole time I'm in this hallway, and you can only remove it by an effect, basically. But to trigger an effect in a hallway, you have to interact with something. And so this will just stay on here until I interact with something that we put an effect on to remove the daze. But on top of that, it doesn't work like you would hope it would. It's not like DD2, and unfortunately I don't think it ever will be. So we'll probably just end up making dazed be kind of monster facing only, because it does delay their turn, but for heroes it'll just be a 99% speed buff, no debuff. Alright, let's deal with the stressor first this time. He's got a dodge token. Uppercut only pushes 1 at level 1. So yeah, we'll try to pull him. Straight into finale. Boom! So we've got we're good on health. Let's hit the Arbalist. Deal with some stress. Yeah, I mean, we could do that too. I mean, the idea being that it just makes you go last on your next one. Yeah. But I mean, that's basically what we're gonna have to do. There's really no way around it. 4 to 8, 4 to 8, 15% crit.
Masterfully executed.
Yeah, monsters we can at least daze works in that round in a way. But so there's the problem of daze working off stun resist and a minus 99% speed buff working off of debuff resist. And that's why we're getting lots of reports of he's dazed but it didn't work, and it's because those two things are desynced. It's just another one of those things for us to kind of take a look at. The idea is that you will daze them, and if the daze is confirmed, they have minus 500% whatever debuff resist, and so you'll get that 99% or 99 speed buff guaranteed if you daze them. But I don't think the game recognizes daze as stun, and there is no dazed exert status, so that might not work either. He's fine back there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually, or maybe I'm wrong and just like my and the code's just not correct on my side, which is very possible. Yeah, no, remember we're the ones that told Iris about days being a thing in our testing for this, and so we were kind of testing it side by side to show them, to figure out exactly what could be done with it. Yeah, only a little bit. Minor Viesa says DD2 looks a bit different. This is cool as hell. I appreciate that. We've been working really hard on it.
Well struck.
Mini. Minerva's a very cool name. If my wife would agree to something like that, I'd totally be down. You know, this is just for a test, because I'm not sure if this is working. Are you trying to move all tokens underneath the health bar like vulnerable tokens there? Not all of them, but so in DD2, tokens are beneath the health bar. So this just makes more sense, because the way we kind of have these tokens set up, they don't recognize the fact, they don't like move over like normal tokens do in 1, right? So I basically have to set their position. So a Vuln token will always be here, a dodge token will always be here, whatever, right? But there is a big square worth of tokens that can show up on this side of the kind of hero box as well. Let's see if that actually stuns. It does not. So flashbang does not stun this combo. But so this is actually my first that as well. So this is actually my first run with having the tokens like this on all the heroes and working. So part of the reason I wanted to play today was to kind of see how that felt, right? And that didn't disappear. Why is that still on him? And I do think it adds a lot to the game's readability. All right, it disappeared. It must be desynced. It adds a lot to the game's readability, because it's so important in 2 and by extension this game to know when something is blinded or dodged, that playing this game was a little cumbersome, I felt, if I had to scroll over every single tiny one of these to kind of understand what's going on. So by adding these tokens, I felt like that was really, really important to get them out and readable. Isn't that moving through a room doesn't count as a round? Isn't it that moving through a room doesn't count as a round? Yes, that is correct. Yeah. Inside a room it doesn't give you a quote-unquote step. Alright, so he's got a resistance token. It's probably not worth trying to stun him. Flashbang doesn't reach back there, so let's grab this dude. As always, we start with a take aim. And then for him, he does have debuff resistance, but we're gonna have to use up that token. Can you use anything in rank 3? Yeah. Alright. Get some combos up. And then... Thanks, Minerva. So I actually worked on that for quite a while. But I think it's one of the best ones I've done, so I'm really happy that you like it. So we'll just kind of chew this guy down, I think. And see, the tokens like that, the dodge token went away the moment he got hit, so it should work. It should work exactly like you would hope it would, except that you cannot hover them. They will not tell you anything. To get that kind of information, you have to go over the actual buffs, and it'll tell you exactly what you have. So finale. Of course I can't hit him. 2 to 3. Nope, not worth it. Alright. Blam! Blam! See, it took this crit token that time, so now I'm really confused. So I'll have to investigate that further. Well, can finish him be used in rank 3? Oh yeah, I can. Hey man, I just mod. I'm not a pro. I can't hit anybody.
Back to the pit.
Boom.
Victory. Perhaps the turning point.
So I'm out of food. And I don't have any bleed heal. So I really should have thought about that and tried to stall around to heal him. But, you know.
Teetering on the brink.
Alright.
The abyss.
Who wants to take bets as to whether or not he's gonna survive this this tick? Nope. Why would it? Yeah. I mean, so we could, on battle end, we could clear all dots like we do in, like they do in 2. Once had that. Having lethal dot is the worst thing ever. I had that happen to a flag after Crocodilian once. It really sucked. Yeah. So we can have them clear all dots on just like they do in DD2, but I don't want to lose a lot of the things that make 1 unique, right? Like the idea is to backport all the good stuff from 2 and keep all of the like the feel of the game from 1. And I felt like keeping dots outside of combat had something, you know, it does suck, but like later once we have provisions more added, then you'll start using provisions to kind of get the things you want. And so you'll want to manage your inventory as much as you want to manage everything else, and I'm really hoping to hit that kind of like sweet spot where it doesn't feel bad. Yeah. I'm glad you think that. I mean, it's obviously in not, it's not perfect. There's still plenty of bugs out there. We're still working on lots of different mechanics to try to get everything nice and settled. But the current alpha build that's up is just as playable as this one is. This is my dev build, which has a bunch of bug fixes as well as a couple of new mechanics in it, but nothing that is like game breaking that you can't enjoy by playing the alpha. So if you're interested, jump over to the Discord and you can grab the role, and then just subscribe to play. Well, and a bleed? Nope, he resisted it. Okay, good. Lucky. Yeah. I should get bot commands, but get shareable link. Yeah, I mean that's our Discord. You have to get through the bot thing where you click the I'm not a bot button, but after that you can go to the roles channel and just pick up click the Iron Crown roles, and then you can just click the Iron Crown tester, and then you'll get access to the Project Iron Crown files, and you can just go straight through. But yeah, and then you can play, and I'd love to hear your feedback. The elusive and mysterious Modman, not to be confused with Mothman. Well, Wunu left already, so we don't get to get any Mothman emotes.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that with the advent of provisions, situations like dying in a hallway like that are more preventable, for one, but for two, there will be situations where, let's say this is a curio, I don't have any provisions, and I really need something to kind of help solidify myself to complete this battle in the next potentially at least one battle, right? And so the curio may have bad effects, but now it's more worth it for me to try to check, because if I get a good provision, it could really help solidify my win here. We don't have provisions in yet, of course. Those are currently being worked on, but I really hope it turns out the way I'm hoping for. Like, I'm out of food. Light's high, but stress is high. I know there's no provisions. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, because who cares? Oh yeah, great. Oh, Minerva, have you seen the character sheet? We worked on this for a long time, and I think it's in one of the best shapes it's been so far. It's got the base stats. I feel like this area needs some help, but otherwise everything is also looking really nice. I really like these new details that were added. Yeah, and then yeah, it looks a lot like DD2, which was the goal, obviously, but these the quirks being up in the top left offset like that is an unintended side effect of something we're working on right now. Yeah. I literally took like a screenshot of the DD2. Why does Trappist Arms chance go to 0 when you go to battle? Well, my friend, that is a workaround. So, thank you very much, Minerva. Why does Trap Disarm chance go to 0 when you enter a battle? So, our Trap Disarm chance goes to 0 because Trap Disarm is used as taunt. And that's because enemy AI can only specifically target, like, we only have the ability to have them specifically target certain things, and one of them is resistances. So if we hit everybody's resistance to 0 on trap, and then make the quote-unquote taunt token increase my trap chance to 1,000, then all enemies will attack that, to attack whoever has the highest trap resistance. And seeing as how it's completely worthless inside of a battle, it's doing double duty. We don't want to do that yet. He has protection token. I will be adding these tokens to all enemies, but because it's really labor intensive, I want to make sure I'm super happy. Thank you. I think Mafe actually came up with that idea, to use trap resistance as taunt. But either way, it works great. So, okay, what do we want to do here? Definitely not gonna be able to kill anything. I guess we just get regen up. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it, right? So, like, part of the fun of modding this game is kind of working within the confines of the box that we're given, and we're constantly figuring out ways to kind of reach outside of what everybody thought was possible. And that's really like what keeps me doing this, because it's a lot of fun. Nice. Like some of the things we've been able to create, like that turn start thing, is a side effect. The fact that it pops up right before turn start is a side effect of us doing a workaround that allows us to have triggers that happen at the start of every round. We can, in normal Darkest Dungeon, you can't have triggers outside of like using a skill. And trigger meaning I can make something happen, right? So like an effect, back one or blind, that would be an effect that goes on a trigger. Well, in DD2, there's a lot of trinkets or abilities or different things that happen at turn start. And so we've created this workaround that makes that thing pop up that says turn start. It also triggers all sorts of shit that we have happening in the background you don't even see. So it's really cool. Give myself a vulnerable. Well, I'm almost dead anyway, so who cares? Yeah, so we've created two triggers that are otherwise not there, and we have an end of turn trigger and an end of round or beginning of round trigger. We also have a combat start trigger and a combat end trigger, and all of those things. Combat start trigger is a well-known workaround, but all of those things kind of culminate into our ability to make some of these things happen. And we're truly putting all of that to the test with things like consecration, which just happened, right? Which at turn start, rank 1, which is the rank that Dismas is in, will get a strength token. So whenever the turn kicks over here, he has 1 strength that came on originally, so he should get a second one. Round start, and then so now we have a strength 1 and then a strength 1 if in position 1, which came from Vestal's Consecration Light. I would like that to be a little more readable. If you didn't know what you were looking for, it's not as intuitive as I would hope, you know? Like if I wasn't explaining what just happened right there, you probably would never notice. I need to do something about that. In fact, I'm gonna write a note. Vestal consecrations need more readability. Hard to tell they even happened. Okay. I think the only other example I know of an unusual trigger like that is the Capuchin Monkey trinket from BR, and that's really interesting technical details. Well, you know what's funny is I'm actually not very familiar with BR, though I did pull a lot of the workarounds that we ended up putting into this from speaking with BR devs like Sasiji, who's basically taught us everything. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure how his works, or that one works. At this point, who cares about stress? He can only hit rank 1 and 2 right now. So if well, she can't even use anything in her current ranks, can she? Nope. Yeah. Yeah, Sasiji is like the godfather of modding after Action Jack. For this game, at least. He's figured out so many things that's ridiculous to enable us to be able to play this kind of game. Boy, I mean, these are the kind of situations I like because I have to think about it, but the mod father, that's funny. So if I kill this, I'm going to leave a corpse, right? Which sucks because then my setup with him having crit and double strength does basically nothing because he can't attack any of those ranks because he's in rank 1. So if I leap forward, it moves her back so she can use an ability, but his is wasted, so I'll have to hit a corpse. But, I mean, that is what it is. But it's okay to do that because now this guy is much, much, much weaker in ranks 2. So it's actually okay. I've mostly been watching people play BR, waiting on a full release to start a playthrough, though I suppose that could be a while. Yeah, it could definitely be a while. I'm not sure how long it took them to get where they are now, but I know it was a long time. And they have a team of like freaking 12 people or something. Alright, so if I push him, can he shoot into... Yes, he can. So 3 to 5, he's at 4. Nope. So the real question is, kill him or hit his friend? See, he's speed 1, she has speed 1 as well. Bullet says, I am not a BR pro, but a person, but while I know there are a lot of negatives, see the fun and, to me, the uniqueness. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, but I I started playing it, and I was like, screw this, I'm doing my own overhaul. So I never really got to actually play. Because I just immediately started working on this and my other mods, right? Yeah, BR, you know, I love... This is the last fight, right? Yeah. I love BR for what it is. I truly do. I think it's amazing what they've done. Yes, yeah. I'll talk about this in a sec. I think it's amazing what they've been able to accomplish, and the just scope of the mod, and the fact that they got their own Steam page and EXE allowed by Red Hook is just amazing. It really gives me hope, because getting an EXE opens up a lot more stuff that I'd like to be able to do. If you don't get an EXE, you have to hard install a bunch of things like the loading screen, or the DD2 music for Hamlet, or the loading screen music as well. You have to hard install all that, which isn't a huge issue, but the average workshop player is not going to do that. They're just going to enter the thing, hit subscribe, and start playing, right? So along with some other stuff, which is a little more technical, but I mean, there's a good chance I'd die here, huh? So I'm in that situation again. I need to move him forward so that she can, at the very least, shoot. He can't do anything, that's fine. I also do what? I like how he has a 75% riposte miss chance. Or he's at 75% ag, and he misses all of them. Oh, just download without doing the rest. Yes, but I also do that on purpose, because I like going into class mods and quest mods and stuff like that blind. Oh, well, there goes. Boy, we're really just not doing well, huh? Couldn't have waited one more turn. So to revisit an earlier comment, I saw you get a quirk for killing that monster. Yes. So we have quirks, and Bullet hates these. Yeah, just as a Junio, basically. Bullet hates these because he doesn't like quirks that you don't, I don't know, that you get on attacks. But, basically, there are Slayer, Hater, Fearing, there's something else. There's a couple other quirks. And basically, by killing Unholy, you can get Unholy Slayer. By fighting things, you can get Hater. And by continuing to do those things, you can level them up, right? So in this case, if I wanted to build Dismas to be a skeleton killer, I would keep bringing him to the crypts, and he would just get better at it over time, right? 1% crit versus Unholy, and on kill he heals himself for 1 HP. And then level 2, it's just a little bit better, and level 3 is a little bit better. I think we have him scaling up to 4. But it's another way you can have like this extra layer of meta progression for your heroes, and you know exactly what you need to do to get the quirks you want to make your character the build the way you want, right? So once we institute paths, hero paths as well, you'll get the ability to, like, A, you level the character, B, you get his equipment up, C, you get his quirks the way you want him to fit the path that you have built for him, right? So like whatever the DD2 path ends up being for Yellow Hand or whatever, right? But I really want it to be like, instead of less random, you know what you need to do. It still might be a little bit of a grind, but you know what you need to do. It's not just like, oh, I didn't get it, oh, I didn't get it, oh, I didn't get it, you know? I gotta keep grinding that quirk to try to get the right one, lock in the ones that I want, you know? I never really liked that about... oh, that's funny. I have Trophy Hunter Trophy Hunter installed, but it's the dev version that's using the prefect. Don't tell anybody. Trinkets aren't put in. We're actually working on trinkets right now, so they're pretty much nothing. Yeah, Trophy Hunter prefect. You took an image of it? Just send it to yeah, correct. They're both Vintage's mod. I was helping him with something with Trophy Hunter, which is why I had this installed in this build. Which means I need to refresh and not do that. Alright. Yeah. I like this. I think it needs a little bit of work, especially once you start unlocking more areas to go to. These things start to get a little muddled. Yes. Yeah, we are. The question is, you're planning on making areas from DD2 as well? Yes. The answer is yes. We have the Tangle in a shape that hopefully can be revealed soon. And Sprawl, I'm waiting on a commission from a well-known artist that has not... They're very busy with something else. We were supposed to get started on that last month, but you know how it goes. So we're looking at getting the Tangle, the Sprawl in, hopefully before... No, it's not Corlock. Tangle and Sprawl in the game and functioning before we would go to an open beta, basically. And then after open beta, we're going to work on the mountain as like additional content, and then we'll go on from there. But all right, so I really like Occultist. I love Flag. You know what? Let's do PD. We're gonna do Fire. Oh, Minerva, do you know about Fire Dot? Like burn and stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna do a little burn play. I really like the team comps. So. Yeah. Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Fire Dot? Yes, actually, I do. As it happens, I do have a minute to talk about that. I know I've talked about Fire Dot at length, so I actually won't. I'm really like torn, but like with Runaway having Backdraft, like I really don't need that double back 2 Plague Grenade for this, so I probably just want that. So Runaway, we're gonna do the pull's really good for Arbalists. We will do Firestarter, Dragonfly, Backdraft. Smoke screen. Cultist, we're gonna do a dot build. So definitely want malediction, word. Can't use sacrificial stab in the back line. In fact, we're actually gonna get rid of that. And we'll do, maybe we will do plague grenade. We're gonna swap these guys. Thank you. The skill art is actually a straight pull. So these are all, for the most part, straight pulls from number 2. So I can't take credit for any of the art. Some of the ones that obviously are not from 2 are colored 2 icons from another mod that I got permission to use. The people who made the Runaway DD1 mod went hard on the art. The character and the animation looks great, and she fits into DD1 really well. I agree. I think Turk MC did the art, and I think I don't know, VoD did the coding, and I think it turned out really well. But I love her in PIC. Alright, so we got rank 1. So we're gonna do that. We got malediction. Could do burning stars. That could be fun. Oh, but like corpse play. So I do want someone who can deal with corpses. Oh wait, no. That does corpses. We don't need this. Yeah, I'll do it anyway. NBB is animator, Turk is art, and VoD is code. I think Cerebral did some stuff too. Yeah, I believe you're right. Steam page, VoD, Turk, Cerebral, and NBB made it. So VoD gave me permission to use Runaway. Turk has done a ton of art for PIC already and will continue to do some. And I do animations, so if you ever see NBB, he's the animator. He has that on locked. Yeah, he does. But tell you what, there's other people out there who can do animation too. And if you want to commission them, all the money goes to PIC. Alright, so no, you know what? I never use Hellion. Let's use Hellion. You fool, I have no money. And what do you think NBB is going to do it for free? We will. I want Howling End. I won't need Iron Swan. Won't need Bleeds. Won't need Yop. So let's do. I need to test this. I need to do test Bloodlust and where's the taunt? Toe to toe. Yeah. All right. I use Spine. Well, the Spine and Dragon Bones are the only ones. But I started with Dragon Bones, and then I felt like I really enjoyed animating, so I bought Spine. And it has proved very, very useful. I have done... I've spent hundreds of hours of animation on for Iron Crown alone. Let's be a little smarter, and we'll buy some actual provisions this time. I don't care about loot, so... no, that's fine. You know, I actually... it sucks to say this, but I actually kind of like Dragon Bones better in some ways, which sucks because Spine... Yeah, but remember we have to use a really old version of Spine. We can't use any of the new fancy stuff for Darkest Dungeon, which sucks. Big time. You know, man, I think that one, I'm telling you, do the stabilize. Did you turn up stabilize in your on your pen settings, your brush settings? I mean, that should help. But I think doing curves and stuff, like, I pretty much kind of get it in the general area and then keep erasing it until it looks right, basically. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like, I just make a line and then just keep erasing it until it's right. Like, I don't know. Let's see. Using fire here will eat his token, but using dots against these guys are not. Yes, yeah. The fights definitely feel longer like DD2 from what I'm watching. Correct. Yes, they're intentionally like that. Right, so I don't really necessarily care about blinding. I'll do fire dot. Oh, I only got one. That sucks. But I did take his dodge token, so that's something. And here I'll ransack him and pull him back. God damn it. That was interesting. What just happened there? I'll have to play that back. I'm not sure what just happened. Okay, so we're gonna try to pull him again. There we go. Stress me no more. One thing I really like about DD2 and by extension this is because stuns are so few and far between, to really mitigate damage and take control of the fight, I tried pulling him twice, and by pulling him to this front rank, he can no longer stress, and the guy in the back will always do a much weaker move. And to kind of control fights in that way is just so much more interesting to me than stuns, especially when corpses aren't actually a thing. Let's test taunt. So she comes out, she gets taunt, and you can see it's a little buggy still, but everyone's playstyle in DD1 is stun heavy, because that's how you play that game, because its stuns are like crazy strong. Alright, so taunt, just to revisit that slightly. So 0 trap resist, but if we look at Boudica, whatever, Hellion, she now has 500% trap resist. And all of their AI is telling them that they need to always attack the person with the highest trap resist. So, in theory, they should all attack her for 2 turns. Alright, let's see. We'll try to clean these guys up with another... Oh, there we go. What do you mean by Janny? If I attack Bone Courtier, he'll die without getting an attack off. And I'll get a power that I can use for Malediction on one of these dudes. Or I can wait a turn. Let him die by himself. Nah, this is fine. You mean Janice, it's that mod that they made for Darkest Dungeon 1 that people hate because it's garbage. I've heard people say that, but stuns are still super useful in the DD2. Regardless, they're much more sparse. Yes. But the sparsity is what really, like, seals that, right? You really, like, I don't know. I just beat 2 the other day. But... you really only seem to... I don't think I ever actually used a skill that had a stun. And that, 60 hours of playtime or whatever. Mainly because I didn't upgrade Bounty Hunter. but I just never felt like it was necessary. Like, if you focus on, like, move and then stuff like that, then... yeah, I agree. Sparse but powerful is better designed than sparse but weak. Or, it requires setup. Like, only stun versus combo, or double daze equals stun. Those kind of things. Those design changes, as far as the combat mechanics are concerned, is the things I really liked added to. And that is exactly why I started making this. It doesn't make sense to backdraft here. So we will just... I'm just going to pull myself back to... Oh, I forgot. She has immobilize. I can't. So I'm stuck here, which means I can Howling End. Yeah, exactly. Combo tokens... combo tokens were already... Okay, it looks like Fire Dot's broken. Fire Dot is leaving debuff pop-ups and icons for some reason. So somehow along the line I broke Fire Dot, so it's actually popping up. Yeah, taunt tokens in 2 different places. That is because this was the original institution of taunt, is this icon right here. But because I can use a different method to make tokens now, I'm actually going to remove this one, and I can instead use this buff source for other things. Yeah, the attack indicators are different too. These obviously are not from DD2. They're kind of custom to us. But yeah, so this is going to loosen up that buff source for me by doing it instead. I just haven't moved off to it. 4-2. So these cultist brawlers, I have them coded that every time they take damage, they gain a strength token. So while their damage isn't amazing, they have higher health, and dotting them like this could be, like, not good. Because they're going to take that and then get a strength token, and then they're going to take that and they're going to get a strength token. But let's malediction him. And he resisted all 3 of it. Something is up with malediction. Malediction just gets resisted all the time. I don't get it. Take a look at that later. Alright, well, we'll just get rid of your blood. I've only done the first 2 confessions, so I definitely lack experience with some heroes. Oh yeah, well, the game basically forces you to do the same run 6 million times, so you'll get your experience. Yeah. Experience is not needed when things like Jester and Man-at-Arms exist. Yeah.
As the light gains purchase,
Whoa.
spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Even though I didn't use either.
Wealth beyond measure.
I truly do not like Man-at-Arms. I think he's very very bland as like from a gameplay perspective, so I never use him. PD, you're mostly using Plague Doctor, Highwayman, Man-at-Arms, Leper. Yeah, I know, Man-at-Arms. That's also part of the reason. So real quick, so now we have a 4-person battle. I have Magnesium Rain, which will burn all of them. And then I have this ability, Backdraft, which is my favorite ability ever. Burn 2, so it sets a 2 burn, and then deal current burn damage to those targets. So if I Magnesium Rain into Backdraft, it'll be 2 burn, 2 burn, 4 burn, 4 burn, and then these two will take 4 damage. So burn, hit everybody. We will taunt. We will Backdraft. So they're 2/2. So they get a fire, and then they take 4 damage each. He must have resisted it. He did. So he takes 4. I love that ability so much. Alright, so now we need to try to mitigate some stress. So I used up their dodge tokens. So I'm going to pull this guy. Why does Auk have 2 moves? Oh, 4. It's because he's mode based. So you know how if you have abilities that are only usable in certain modes, but you have it equipped, it won't show up. However, I mean to fix that. It's kind of a downside of being mode based, but with disables, yeah. Shy skills are also happening with him. The shy skills are also happening with him too. I'm not sure what you mean. Also, the cooldown on Magnesium Rain didn't work. Cooldown on Mag Rain is not working. Alright. So now that these two in the back are dotted up, I'm going to try to blind them. As the skills are hidden, I said Divine Grace was being shot. Ah, yes. Yeah. So, Divine Grace is different because it should never be hidden. But Malediction is only usable in certain modes. So what I'm going to do is have it, like, from a code perspective, it'll be usable in every mode, but it'll be disabled in the modes that you cannot. So then it'll just be grayed out like it should be. But I just need to do it. Okay, so he will die. She will die after her turn. I'll take the power off that one. Having 5 skills is also really cool. I've seen lots of different workarounds with class mods, replacing movement skill, making page of skills. None of them look as smooth and function. Yes, well, that's also because that you are playing mods that are built in vanilla, which do not have a UI like this, obviously. There are mods out there that will change your UI to look better, to have multiple skills like that, but also vanilla's just not meant to have, you know, a huge array of things that you can do at any given point. Taunt has been working, apparently. I would... Yeah, you're gonna die after turn. Can finish off the Bone Rabble, or I could get a big hit on him. Yeah, I at one point, it's like the ship of Theseus, right? Once you replace every plank, is it still the same ship? We will... If I Dragonfly, they will both die at the end of their turns, but I'll take extra hits, but I'm high on health, so I think that's fine. But I'm faster than them. So instead... I wish I could blind back there, though, which I can't. I'm gonna blind him. I get the blind? Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? Ship of Sassius. That fire dot throwing debuffs is because of our new burn FX. I think it's the burn FX being on the wrong source. I'll just post that straight into our Discord because Sharon will probably want to take a look at that. Okay. Alright. Just blast. Yep. Dude, don't even talk to me about Sharon. I've never been so in love with someone I've never seen in real life. Sharon's the fucking best, and I love her. In fairness, most planks aren't replaced. There's just 100 more rooms added to the boat and 3 more masts. Yeah, and that's how I like playing my games. I don't really need to heal. I guess I don't really need to do anything. They're both gonna die. I guess I can take less damage potentially. Oh, look, it didn't get resisted that time. Okay, I don't know. Because ooh, that will be good for you. I did not pay attention to that trap. Classic awkward heady moment. Look how much better we're doing. Look how much better we're doing in this in this run. Like, holy crap. To be honest, I haven't done a dancing RA with Backdraft and Ransack before. Almost always played her stationary. Have to try that with PD at some point. Backdraft, yes, that would be a build. But Backdraft in PIC is different than it is in Darkest Dungeon 2 because we cannot do what 2 does. Plus, I like Backdraft the way it is in this version way more. I think it's really... I'm very happy with it. So both these guys, both the stressors start with a dodge token, so I'm definitely gonna rain to try to get rid of it. Got rid of it and rained both of them. That's great. I'm gonna pull you out of position. Yeah. Having to do the exact burn damage rather than 50%, but it also isn't contingent on having a burn token on rank 1. It literally just attacks back 2. So it burns back 2, and then it does the burn damage to them, right? So it's like Plague Grenade, but different. Requires you being in the front. It's different, but the fact that I was able to get this to work in the way that it does, I thought, I don't know. It has to do with how I coded the burn dot to work. And so when I was thinking about the mechanics, I'm like, wait a second, I might be able to do this. Turns out you can. Alright, so with you there, I'm gonna backdraft. See, so he just took 4, he took 2, and that's because Madman has 4, and this guy has 2 now. So, yeah, I really like it. I think it's a super cool ability. I know I say that a lot, but let's see. I really want to try to use this opportunity to kill this dude, but it's going to put her out of position if I do that. But I can use toe-to-toe, which I'm pretty sure toe-to-toe has a move forward on it. Toe-to-toe missing move on tooltip. Wham! 20 damage. Hell yeah. This makes me really interested in diving into DD mod making more. I'll have to make a class mod as a rite of passage at some point. Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. Super fun. And with the more recent documentation that's come out, it's never been easier. It really has never been easier. So we have burn on everything. I'm actually just going to blind these guys. Art is definitely very difficult. Nobody will argue with you. I'm going to take his combo. We have a corpse situation. He has protection too, so it's better to give him burn. The most I've done so far is navigate the files and mess around with hero stats. Hey man, that's where we all start. Art and animation seems like most of the work of a hero mod. It depends. Yes, yeah. Art definitely. Animation maybe. But it also depends how complex your hero is. So, for example, this is, even in PIC, this is Highwayman's for now, until we institute paths. This is his info sheet, right? And we're looking at 89 lines. This is my current work in progress mod, the Uncrowned, and it has 700 lines. So it really depends on how complex you want to make your hero. Yeah, how neat the info sheets. Yeah. Well, nobody should make a mod like the one I just showed you that has 700 lines. Unless you're a masochist. I'll just use malediction. See, he resisted all three of them again. There's no malediction's fucked. What is Uncrowned? Uncrowned is a mod that I am working on that is a Birdman. And he would be, if I wasn't working on PIC, I'd say he is my masterpiece. What else do I got around here? Yeah, so he's a vanilla based a masterpiece that's not finished. He is a vanilla based hero mod that is currently up for testing. Yeah, the trinket, I still got to do that. That's currently up for testing on the PIC Discord, Iron Crown Discord, if you want to check that out. Token FX is not set to remove on combat end. Yeah. GIF of this post is stabbing a bone defender. Yeah. I know you thought of a V-Tide trinket with on finisher cause big blight depending on the poison. I assume my idea of the other CC will probably stay. I'll say later or in DMs, whichever. Oh, whatever. Yeah, send it in DMs so that way I don't lose it, because you know how I am with, like, I got so much going on that it's hard to keep track. Let's use Firestarter this time. We'll put Firestarter on. This doesn't really matter. Put it on Plague Doctor. Oh, I should have put it on someone who didn't take a turn yet. That was stupid. Oh well. Combo weak. See how much more readable this is? I know that she's got a blind without having a freaking hover. V-Tide has the most creative boss fights I've played and amazing art. Props to that project too. Yes, I highly agree. And I would like to kind of pick the brain of Iris, who did some of the design on bosses, to see if we can get some cool bosses for Iron Crown as well. Spiders, man, they're rough. They are rough. I'm gonna play... That should have a cooldown, so I'm not gonna use it again. Oh, because blind. Yep. Oh, I was like, why did everything just get burned? It was Firestarter. So if I put a combo point... just kill this. Alright, it's worth ransacking. Not really. It will get me in a better position, but it'll put her out of position. So I am just gonna smoke screen. Sure, I'll take a look at it. I do like your CC or the other other idea where it disables finishers and stuff. So we've talked about that a couple times. She's double blinded, so there's no way she's gonna be able to hit anything this turn. So I will just do taunt then. She's already low on health. I'll heal her. Ooh, what the fuck? Hold on. What? Max 3 attacks heal. Oh, it's a placeholder. So that's Hellion. What's that ability called? Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush using placeholder effects. What we got? Blind. One of my favorite things about making games with the art is using funny placeholders. Yeah. Yeah. This would be a placeholder that I made when I first started this project, when I'd never done animating before, and I'd never done art before. And it looks like shit. After attack, that thing will die, so let's focus more on killing these. Do I have any more? I have one more fight after this. She still has 2 blind tokens, so I'm going to have her taunt. She's taking a lot of damage though. It looks fine. They're not in the DD1 style too much. Yeah, no. This will definitely be... That is the placeholder that I made for Man-at-Arms Standfast, which also needs... actually, it's not going to need a placeholder, because I'm changing the way it's coded, but... we got lots of fire out there. Let's try to get a heal out. 50% HP. You kill this. That should die from a fire dot. Yep. This hit them on the back, so now both these guys will die at fire dot. Ouch. Thank you. I worked on those a bit. But yeah, the death animations are attempting to be very, very close to DD2. Oh look, I brought provisions this time, so things are a little bit more manageable. Oh look, a trinket that actually has stats on it. Oh yeah, I forgot I can't equip trinkets in combat or in dungeons.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
I didn't reset my positions. I'm the worst. Really wish it would do that automatically. So we will start, as always, with Magnesium Rain. Took all their tokens like a boss. Going to... I assume the fire dot's triggering after enemies attacks as quirk. It's how it's done currently. There is no way to make a trigger happen before an actor's turn. So the only way fire dot can work is after turn. And at first I was kind of bent about it, but honestly I think it makes it more unique. And I quite like it. It reminds me a bit of the custom dot for Arsonist, which works kind of like that. Oh boy, don't even say that to me. It does make it more unique, yes. The custom dot for Arsonist is using a method that many people in the modding, like the modder community that make mods, they do not think is healthy for the game in any way, and is fundamentally broken because it can A, not be resisted, B, it can't stack. So when I went out to make this burn token, I explicitly went out to make it without using that. Without getting too into the weeds about how it works, right? You're right, and I don't recall it being readable. That too. Yes, correct. So that's why having fire dot in the capacity that we have it here in Iron Crown is such a big thing. Because of all the triggers we've made usable, that's how we can make fire dot happen in the way that it is here. I can kind of do the same thing in vanilla, but I don't know if I'll get back to vanilla modding to a point where I would make it vanilla fire dot. So yeah, having the info that it applies after turn is extremely cool too. Thank you. We will put Firestarter on. Let's see, she'll probably need to heal. He will only do damage. She'll attack next turn. He can heal. Probably do Dika. Oh, taunt. That reminds me. Oh! Hellion Taunt does not work like a token. Instead, it sticks around for 2 rounds. So, in DD2, the taunt token would be a token, right? Like, you get hit, you lose 1, and then you have one. If you had 2, you'd get hit and you lose 1. Man-at-Arms, Leper, and Flagellant all have the token working, but obviously Hellion does not, so I'll have to fix that. I'm going to play it straight and not use that. So we'll try to get a double blind, which we did. Nice. Much prefer the Fire Arsonist patch. The fire patches that VoD has been making are really cool. Yes. Yeah, it makes it actually a mechanic that you can kind of build off of, build a team around, which is much, much better in my opinion. So can't hit him. Put a combo and a weak token out, which wouldn't be terrible, but I could get better use out of pulling this dude out of position. It's Mark 2.0. Having an actual dot is really cool. Yes, I agree. Oh, are we going to lose Boudica? Come on. Oh, I didn't equip the knee. I didn't equip the heel. No. Okay, so who still has a turn? We'll try to get a blind. He's blinded. Okay, we'll blind you. Nice. And it didn't matter. How much death blow resist? How much? 67? 67%? That's what I get for not taking the utility. I took smokescreen instead of the heal. This is what I get. This is what I get. Ock can indeed carry. And he's gonna, because he's gonna start getting some power here. That's one. It really annoys me that it's popping debuffs up now. I know why, so I'll have to fix it. Okay, so big guy will die after turn. This guy's out of position, so the biggest threat right now is Bone Courtier. He gets a protection token every time he attacks, so it's not a huge deal. I can't really hit Bone Courtier from here. Oh, I can do with Backdraft. Oh, perfect Backdraft use. I'm not really worried about dying, and this is the last fight, so we're just going to try to get rid of these two guys. So the real skill issue with Hellion dying there is because the taunt wasn't a token. Instead, it was just active for 2 rounds, so every single attack went straight to her. So the skill issue was a coding issue. Which is still a skill issue in some ways.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Choice.
Expedition at least promises success.
Alright, well, 2 runs, I lost 3 heroes, but you know. Death's Head passive quirk from dungeon complete. Alright, well, so that was 2 or 3 dungeons. I don't remember how many that was. I think it was 2. But, yeah, I just felt like playing some tonight. Figured I'd stream it. Thank you for joining me, and found this big list of bugs and adjustments that need to be made, which happens every time I play. So it never ends. But burn pops up with .2 when applied. That's so cool. Thank you. We actually went out of our way to make sure that happens. This was neat. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience. Not a problem. In the Iron Crown Discord, we have a modding resources channel, which is pretty much an amalgamation of every solid piece of modding information we have out there. Everything from how to use size 0 HPRs, which are very advanced, to my advanced modding documentation that I've been working on, to learn how to do all these like fancy things everyone's talking about. You can just control F and find your what's AWR, what's AXA, that kind of stuff. So if you are actually interested in modding, pop into the Discord, grab some of this stuff, and also in general we have a coding help channel. So feel free to ask as many questions as you want. But that's it for me. So thank you all for joining me, and have a good night.